everybody. Sorry I signed in a couple minutes late. We had to do a little update on the system, but we got it rolling, and I am here one night early. Magni is bringing me in so I can see the TikTok comments. Let's see. He's trying to get me loaded up here. Hope everybody's enjoying the wonderful snow that we're having. And then just a little, it's a lot of snow. So let's see. You might have to look me up there, Magni, and then I'll appear. Just search me. Yeah, you go. There we go. Just search right there. All right. There I am. Cool. There we go. Whoop. There it goes. It just turned. All right. So let's put this over here. All right now. So we're going live now on YouTube and TikTok and on Facebook. We have one person that joined me. I hope everybody is home safe in this snow. I hope you're paying attention to your roofs and hoping you're taking care of your home right now and hoping you don't lose electricity or lose any usage of your home. I know our homes are not built to withstand all this snow and ice. I had only seen one car, I think, pass down the road. It was a truck, thank God. But please stay off the roads because it is not safe unless you do have snow tires or you're used to driving on ice and snow. I am lucky. Magni and I both are very used to driving on ice and snow because we did live in North Texas where there was a lot of ice and snow. We did not have snow tires. And Magni is from Norway, so we have driven in snow and ice there as well. But we decided not to drive, not because we didn't know how to, but because we knew nobody else knew how to, and we didn't want to wreck our cars. So we stayed in today. So waiting for a few of you guys, more of you guys to log on in. We have 3 of you there. Y'all can definitely type me some messages. I don't see anybody on TikTok yet, but I do see 3 people that are on here now. So tonight we're just going to talk a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my trip down to Miami. I had some strange. I had a visitor while I was there, paranormal visitor. So I'm going to tell you all about that. That was really cool. Had an apparition, and the apparition did some crazy stuff. So I thought I would share that with you, since we've been talking about that over the last couple of days, and I done lost 2 of y'all. So now I'm down to just 1. That's all right. Let's see if we get a couple people to sign on in and we'll get rolling. I know some of you might have a few people tonight because everybody's stuck inside because of the snow here in New Orleans and the ice and all the everybody's probably locked in. Today we had a great time. We had a wonderful breakfast. Hey Zeta, are you stuck inside, Zeta, or are you stuck at work? Were you on Team A or Team B? Are you at work or are you home? Oh, I have 4 people now. So today we had okay, Magni joined. Today we had a breakfast. We had a big old breakfast. We had Magni fixed pancakes, and we had eggs and bacon and grits, and it was really, really good. And then for dinner tonight, we had jambalaya, and we had some pork chops, and it was really great. Magni baked cookies today, so we've been real domestic. Hey, Alicia. This is how the shining began. Yes, you're right. So now that I got a few of y'all here, I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about my weekend. So while I was out in South Florida, I was staying at a bed and breakfast, and I did a little bit of videoing while I was there, but the connection wasn't real good, so I made it short, and it was right before I left. I wanted to tell y'all about what happened while I was there because I had seen an apparition in the room, and I always like to leave when I stay in a strange place or new place. I like to leave like the bathroom light on, and I'll pull the door just so if I wake up in the middle of the night, you know, I can see and I can get to the bathroom okay in case I wake up in the middle of the night. And when after I pull the door, and then I get in bed and I put my, wear a CPAP at night. So I have my CPAP machine on, and so I have my mask on, and I'm laying down. All of a sudden, I heard like what sounded like scratching on carpet or walking, and there was no carpet in this room. Like this was a, like a wooden floor, but it wasn't. But it was almost like steps, but like scratch steps, which I felt was weird. And then the bathroom light just went out by itself, which I thought was really weird. And so obviously the spirit in the room did not want the bathroom light on. That was kind of wild. And so then I thought, well, maybe, my rational mind's like, well, maybe it's on a timer. Maybe so I left it on, but it's not on a timer. The spirit wanted the light off. So it went in the bathroom and it turned the light off on me. So that was kind of wild. And then during the day, the next day, I kept hearing certain raps and taps when there was nobody around. So that was really cool. So I definitely had a visitor while I was at the bed and breakfast in Miami, in the Miami area, Miami Fort Lauderdale area. So that was really really cool. So that was definitely cool, and so was very excited about that. And then I came home, and then I started having visits here. Like when I first got home, before Magni came home, there was flashes of light in my game room, and which never happened before. And then again, I started hearing the raps and the taps. So that was kind of crazy. So I've been having some paranormal activity around me. So which I'll call paranormal. I call it normal activity. So I thought that was really, really, really cool. So nothing to be scared of, just normal energy, weird stuff. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I hope everybody is safe, and please monitor your roofs. So I don't want things to happen to your roof. So be careful. We went out twice today, and on one side of our roof we had a lot of snow built up, so we knocked it down just so the weight, because looks like it was laying on our gutters, and I didn't want our gutters to fall because I have special gutters. So I went and knocked all the snow off our gutters, and just so I wouldn't have any damage from the snow, because it was a lot. I got almost like I got a good 8 inch, about a good 8 inches in our front yard, and our neighbor, his backyard is like packed, like it's a good 6 to 8 inches. So we had a lot of snow here. So I'm good. I'm used to it. Magni's used to it, so we know how to work with snow. We could drive, because I'm used to driving in snow and ice, but I've decided not to drive because of all the other crazy people on the road sliding around. I didn't want nobody to slide into us. So I hope everybody's safe and warm. We have not had any power outages yet. It is going to get a little cold tonight, so please, people, be careful, stay warm. Definitely want that for everybody. I'm hoping that it does heat up a little bit. I'm hoping that Alicia can get here tomorrow. If she can't, I will try to bring her online. We're able to do that, so I will talk to her tomorrow. She is watching now. And if she can't get here, I will try to bring her online so that we can do our normal podcast. So that'll be really, really great. So we will be here tomorrow at 8 as usual. So we will have our podcast tomorrow, and we will talk about some wonderful and exciting things. So also too, I want to talk a little bit more about relationships and dealing with relationships. And we could probably talk about this every time we meet, because things just keep, that seems to be the number one topic when I'm talking to people. Tracy, I think the whole country is experiencing this weather, Tracy. And because I've been to Colorado in the snow and the bad weather, I'm used to it. I mean, and then like I said, I married a Norwegian who, his family's laughing at us, but we just don't have the equipment. Like, we don't have the snow plows and the people to salt and do the things to our roads that need to be done. So, it's just, New Orleans just not equipped for this weather. But I also heard in a report for the weather that there's another front, probably coming the first week of February is what I heard. Don't know. I mean, I know I heard it, But again, I don't know how much validation that is. So please keep an eye. Supposedly, there's another Arctic blast that is coming. Hey, Charmaine, welcome. So there is another Arctic blast supposedly following this one. It is going to be about another week away. Um, so we will see. So please keep your pipes covered. What I'm more worried about is the poor animals, because even when I went outside my front door to go try to knock some of the ice off around the wires that are on my roof, I wanted my electric wires. I wanted to knock some of the snow that was starting to build up around them, because I didn't want them to be damaged by the buildup of the snow. Because if it does freeze, it gets hard. It was a balmy 41. Well, child, it was 20 degrees here for a minute. Anyway, I didn't, so when I went out the front door, there was a bird. I didn't want to scare it, but I think it got scared and it flew. I would have tried to have fed it, but I know that there are a lot of birds and a lot of animals that are not used to being down here in this type of weather. So please be mindful that there are animals out there that are wild and are in need of food and shelter. So if I'm thinking about taking some bread maybe and going to throw it out in the yard. There are a lot of squirrels in our neighborhood who are probably going to freeze to death and things like that. So I am going to try to see if I can find something to put out tonight that maybe we could try to feed some of them in this weather and put it in a nice warm place. I didn't think about making a warm place for them, but I may put some blankets out on or some towels under our we have like a carport over our garage in the backyard. I may put some towels or something out there to create a warm place that maybe they can bundle up in, and maybe put some food out there too. But we have possums and we have squirrels and we have we probably haven't seen any mice or rats or anything like that, but we do have possums and squirrels and birds and stuff like that a lot in our area. I'm sure we have a couple of mice because we live by a canal. A lot of nutria, I'm sure. So anyway, please be mindful that there are a lot of animals out there that aren't pets, that are not are stuck in this, and this probably will kill them. They probably will freeze to death. Okay, so know that, and if you can find some refuge for them, please do so. So I did want to put that message out there too. So be kind, and please, if you don't know how to drive on snow and ice, please don't try, because you have to know how to drive on it. We did get a warning out about there was an increase of accidents on the highways. They were asking people to stay off the roads in Kenner because there was an increase of accidents. People were sliding. Again, I don't know where you're driving to because almost every place in Kenner is closed. I do know that. I don't know about the rest of New Orleans, but I know almost everything in Kenner is closed. So I don't know where you're going unless you're going to the hospital, but most of the hospitals are closed. The hospital I worked at is closed. If you're there, you're locked in. They're only taking emergencies, meaning like an ambulance has to bring you there. They're only taking emergency. They're not letting, everything is locked down. So please be careful. Okay. Those people who sent me applications for like RNs, LPNs, and techs, I will bring them when this freezes over in to be reviewed, and I will get back to you. And so anybody that knows anybody that is interested in a career change, please send me your resume, and I will turn it in as well. Hey, Denise. So that's something else that I'm doing is I'm just trying to get. We have a bunch of new positions that are open with various hours. The more flexible you are, the more flexible you are, the more you can make, or the more options you'll have. Is the best way to put it. And there's lots of different options. So there's lots of different positions that are available. Some with various different shifts and different types. So if you're interested in making a career change, let me know. Hey Joel, how you doing? So anyway, Love the snow. Everybody's having fun. My grandbabies are having fun. I wish they didn't live so far away. We were going to take the pool toys and go to the levee and go slide down the levee in the pool with the pool toys. But I was hoping the grandbabies would be able to come join us and go slide down the levee with the pool toys. That would have been a lot of fun. So that would have been fun. So tonight, what I mainly want to do is just I know I saw Joel. I saw your grandbabies online playing in the snow, and I got to see my grandbabies playing in the snow in their yard. They couldn't come over because they live too far. They live too far to walk, and I didn't want them to drive because no one in Metairie knows how to drive in snow hardly. But it are Kenner. But Magni is going to Norway Friday, so he's going from this snow to that snow. So he'll be heading to Norway because we are doing some movement of stuff, and he's got to go handle some business in Norway. So that's gonna be really great. Hey Gwen, how you doing? So like I said, I hope everybody is being safe. Again, watch your homes. Be sure that if the snow accumulation gets too heavy on your roof, you may want to knock some off on certain sides where it's building up, just to get the weight off your roof. We have done that today a couple of times because we knocked it off and it was a lot, and then like 2.5 hours later it was built up just as bad. We had to go we actually got the ladder and got up on the up to the roof and started knocking a lot of the snow off the roof just to knock some of the weight off because it was sitting on our gutters, and I didn't want it to dislocate the gutters, and we were knocking down a lot of snow. And so be mindful that snow does have weight, and if it does freeze and turn to ice, it will get heavy. So yes, tree branches too. So you need to be very careful. I know a lot of us aren't used to it, so we wait to see if something happens. Don't wait for it to happen. And again, I had a lot of snow around my power lines going to my house, and I was careful because I didn't want to get electrocuted, but I knocked a lot of the snow from around the power lines because it was starting to build up around the power lines and to move them. So I was knocking it so it wouldn't move the power lines. So just be careful, okay? Be careful. So everybody try to stay safe. Like I said, we've been cooking all day. God, I'm stuffed. We've been eating. We done made, like I said, jambalaya. I done made pork chops. We done had this immaculate breakfast with pancakes, eggs, bacon, grits with bacon in it, and then we had lunch. We had smoked ham and Gouda cheese melts, and it was just we've been, and then Magni baked cookies, lemon cookies with icing on them. We've been having a day, so I'm stuffed. But anyway, lots of fun. So let's talk a little bit about, guys. I keep pushing energetics because those of you who are into the psychic arts, this is going to be your awakening. If you haven't mastered it, you have cookies in the oven now. There you go, Mary. This is going to be your awakening. This is going to be what's going to be the key that's going to set you above and beyond. It is what has helped me with my abilities. It's what has helped me open up better than anything else. It has helped me become more fluent in my readings and my sessions. It's helped me with understanding life. It's helped me in my relationships with people, with my job. It's helped me with just understanding purpose. It's helped me with so much, and I want to share that with you. And like I said, I can only share pieces of it with you because I haven't taught part 2 yet, and I don't want to give away too much before I teach the second part of it. But come June, I will teach this. I will do a refresher of the first part, and then I will go into the second part. And then after all that, I will teach it the whole thing again, probably right after hurricane season, around the end of September when hurricanes start dying out. I know they don't end to November 1st, but they start to dwindle after September or towards the end of September. So when they start to dwindle and they don't look like they're coming around as much, I will try to offer the course altogether, part one and part two. And it'll be a whole weekend course to take. It'll be probably a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday course. But it is eye-opening, and I kind of believe that this is one of the courses that's going to help you with obtaining the abilities that you want, whether it be healing, whether it be mediumship, whether it just be psychic work. It's going to open you up to the journey that you seek. And so you're going to hear me talking about it a lot. In almost every session that you will see me online, you will hear me talking, because it's going to help you with relationships. It's going to help you in working with your friends, family, your career. It's going to help you in your everyday life, but it's also going to help you get in touch with yourself, and it's going to also help you understand your senses. It's going to help you understand how you react to different situations, stresses, and traumas, and how you can learn about those things. And so that's what makes energetics such a unique class. And in part one, we learned a lot of theory. We talked about fears and blocks. We talked about understanding the self. We talked about the journey. We talked a lot about understanding who you are. But now we're going to talk about how to build that wall. The second part is going to be a lot about how to build the wall, how fear affects us, and how we adjust to it. So see, that's what part two is going to be a lot about, and how to build the positive energy, how to build it, how does it work for us. That's what we're going to learn in part two. So in part two, when I go to teach this in Orlando, in part two, those are the things that we're going to talk about. How to build that positive energy and how to keep it at such a strong force that nothing negative can come in. That we keep negativity on that side of the wall. And that we learn how to deal with fear. We start working on situations. So we're going to actually talk about fearful situations and how we deal with them. We showed you the science behind the fear in part one, but part two is like, okay, what do we fear in our lives, and then how do we work with that fear? So those are the things that we're going to talk about in level two, and those are the exercises that we're going to do, is how to create that positive energy. How do we create it? How do we keep it? Because remember, energy is a constant, right? So it doesn't go away. So the more we build that positivity, the more we speak it, the more we say it, the more we create it, the stronger the field becomes. Because we have created the positivity versus what society does, which is the negativity, which is always speaking negative, speaking fear, speaking negative, always talking things down. What religions and governments do. You hear it all the time. We're going to start talking positive. We're going to start trying to find the positive in things. When something is negative, we're going to look at solution. We're going to look at, if something we fear something, have a plan. Those are the things, so that way you don't have to fear it. Because there is nothing to fear, because there's no sense of fearing something, because if it's inevitable, you're going to experience it anyway. So you have a plan. That's, let's talk about that. So one of the things that I used to love, one of the questions that I get from people who come get their cards read, is they love to come, they say, well, I don't do that because it scares me. Because I'm afraid of life. Or I'm afraid to see what's going to happen. I'm like, why? It's life. What in life are you afraid of? Wouldn't you rather be prepared to know something is about to happen so you can prepare for it? Because when you go get your cards read, or you're going to meet an intuitive who sees something, it's so they can give you things that are going to potentially come across your path so you can change it, so that you can lighten the blow, or that you can create a plan to avoid it. An example, if you come to me and I'm very good with medical stuff, of seeing those things, and so I see you having a heart attack, and I've done this multiple times, and I see you having a heart attack. I tell you, go to the doctor, and you go to the doctor, and he sees that you have a blockage, so he takes you to cath lab, and you get a stent placed. Well, that was a lot better than you getting a damn heart attack and dying. I can't tell you the lives we saved by telling people I see the heart issue. But if you didn't go to the doctor and get it taken care of, you would have probably died. So you came to a psychic or an intuitive, and the intuitive tells you they see the heart issue to go get checked. So you go get checked. So we were able to solve the problem. Had you not come, you would have died. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. Now, are we meant to save everybody? No. Some things are meant to happen. Some things are put into faith and put into God's hands. There are some things that they won't let us see. But if it's something that you have a choice about, and there's a reason for you to have that choice, go into an intuitive or a psychic who's legitimate and who's real and who's going to be real with you, what they see, then there's no harm, no foul. At least you can prepare for it. And so that's why I tell people all the time, I would rather be wrong than right. But I'm unfortunate. Well, I don't want to say unfortunate. Fortunately, I'm right a lot of the time. I mean, I don't say no intuitive is 100% right. No intuitive. Have not met one yet. And I've met some of the best in the world. But I can tell you that I'm probably about, depending, but I'm probably about 90 to 95% right these days in a lot of things that I see. Sometimes it's a misinterpretation because you got to understand how we see things. And a lot of people don't, why can't you pick the lottery numbers? If I can pick the lottery numbers, why do you think I'd be doing this? I'd be retired by now. And yes, I have picked the lottery numbers. If you know how this works, yes, I picked the lottery numbers twice already. But it was before they come rolling out of the machine because I was picking up the signal before they hit the machine and it was too late to buy the numbers. So yeah, I did pick the lottery numbers, and I have been able in the right state of mind to pick the roulette numbers. So I had to be put down into the trance state. But I have done that. So, do I think it's possible? Yes. I do think those things are possible. But it takes certain conditions. It takes some energetic work, and it takes to be in a certain level of consciousness. And I've seen it happen. I have seen it happen. So it is possible. So when I love these people, well, why can't you pick the lottery numbers? Or I love it when you go to them, you tell me my name. Well, that's not how it works. It works through sense. If you understand how psychic abilities work, it works through the senses. So unless I sense your name, it's not going to tell me your name. I have to pick up the senses, and I have to be able to connect to you. We have to have some kind of physical connection. Yes, I know. Yep, Joel, I was because I could see the energy of her body, and that's something. Once you learn how to sense energy and you learn how to see it, you can tell when someone's about to pass because the energy will disconnect and you can see it right over their body. That means they come in to take them. So yes, I was right in the ICU. So I knew she was gonna code and go. I've done that a few times in the ICU, but it's practice. Anybody can see these things. It's like I'm not special. Anybody, hey Elizabeth, anybody can see these things. I can train you to see these things, but I got to get the tar off your heart, and that really is the key. I have to get the tar off your heart. When you were born into this world, You were born with a blank. God sent you into this world with a blank slate. And in that blank slate, you were conditioned with all these things, and some of them were positive and some of them were negative. And because of that, you have built barriers around your true connection to your emotions and feelings and your senses. And so I have to get you to scrape some of that off in order or erase some of that pain and suffrage and fear and stuff to reconnect back to those things. You know, so it's like taking tar off. Gwen, I'm gonna fix you. That's my mission. And what about soulmate sketches? Well, that takes, first of all, let's go take a psychic artist, which, by the way, in Touching Eternity, we have a psychic artist coming in. And actually, who I think could do that, Mary, but will not do that, is Magni. Because Magni is a very phenomenal artist. He doesn't think so. And I've watched him draw people that I was seeing, but he won't do it anymore. So, I mean, and he's very good with art. He's very good at sketching people. So, and again, but what is your soulmate? Let's talk about that. Everybody wants to meet their soulmate. Let's talk about that. Mary, you brought up a good subject, love. What is your soulmate? Let's talk about that. You know, I talk to a lot of people and I counsel a lot of people, and that's another number one question that normally comes from women. I want to meet my soulmate. Well, and if I ask a dozen women will all give me a different answer when I ask them what their soulmate is to them. Okay? Exactly. Because, Mary, they are different. Your soulmate could change multiple times during your life. Because during your life, you're going to have different needs. And during your life, you're going to have different desires and different wants. But a soulmate, first of all, let's make this one thing clear. Your soulmate is not someone you're sexually compatible with. Let's get that one out there right away. Your soulmate has nothing to do with you sexually. So your soulmate could actually be your best girlfriend. It may not be somebody, might not even be of the opposite sex. Your soulmate doesn't mean that you're romantically involved at all. Your soulmate is somebody who understands you. And you understand them. It doesn't have to have any sexual connection whatsoever. And that people don't understand because they want the sex. In America, that's how they are. In other countries, they understand that. In this country, they want the sex included. I'm being real with you. I'm being real. Everybody has one. The problem, the reason you don't find your soulmate is because most people are lazy and won't go out there and shine and go look for it. Energetics, I teach you how to look for it without looking. And that's what's important about energetics, is learning to shine so that the people who understand you will be automatically attracted to you, both male or female. The people who are your people, your tribe, will be attracted to you. Now, the one you have sex with, you have sex with. That does, but again, you might have more than one soulmate, but you might not be having sex with all of them. Now it's all scratching your head. Because once you take the tar off your heart and you shine and you attract people who you attract them, they attract you, you find that you might have more than one soulmate. Soulmate does not mean your soulmate. There is nothing sexual about a soulmate. It is an energetic bond, not a sexual bond. And that's where most people get messed up. Because they want the sexual bond. But you learn sex. So most people's sexual desire is not what's really best for them in life because they learned that behavior. And that gets real deep. That would have to be an 8 o'clock show when I have Alicia here to protect me. But we could go into that because that's a whole nother journey down the rabbit hole. But because a lot of people don't understand that, but it's true. You don't have to have sex with your soulmate. It's an added attraction if it's there, but you don't have to. Your soulmate is someone who understands you and you understand them. It's not a one-way, it's a two-way. It's like y'all complete each other's sentences. You know each other, y'all vibe. You're very good friends. You understand one another. You're compatible. You understand. You have the similar emotions. You bond well. You like the same things. It doesn't mean, again, it does not have to be a sexual attraction there. But remember, your sex that you enjoy is a learned experience because you've learned it or picked it up from somewhere. And so did your partner. Or so did the one you desire. But that don't mean they're your soulmate just because y'all make good sex. Because y'all can have great sex and hate each other afterwards. I counsel many of those. And that's okay. There's some things about you that you might have to understand and learn first, Gwen, and we can talk about that. We can definitely talk about that sometime. Because soulmates are important. I have married my soulmate. Definitely. I have never met anybody else that I want to be married to or even be in a relationship with. Other than the one I'm with right now. And I counsel enough men and women to know that I couldn't do it. So I'm very happy. And I hope that everybody is as happy as I am. But I tell people it's because of energetics. It's because we energetically bind. And I don't mean in a sexual aspect. I mean in life. We like to say we yin and yang. There's things that we like a lot together, but there's things that we're very different in. So we give each other space, but we also come together and bond on a lot of things. So it's also a mutual respect. I hope y'all understand that. So it's not like we always agree on everything. We don't always like the same things. There's some things we don't like. Some things that we don't like. I don't want to say we don't like it, but there's some things that I might not. There's some things that you won't see me do that he likes to do, and there's some things I like that you won't see. Like I like to go to the casino, he doesn't. He likes anime, I don't. But we respect each other enough that he has his time to do his thing, and I have time to do my thing, and then we have time to do our thing. You see what I'm saying? But the energy is there. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Well, that's partially true. For me, the soulmate piece came in not when I was taking my last breath, but was seeing the loneliness when they thought I was going to go. And I saw the love. I saw the love and the commitment. It's not about taking my last breath. It was in sickness, like the wedding vows say. in sickness and in health. When I was sick, how they took very good care of me when I was sick, and how we take care of each other without even thinking. You know what I mean? Like, we don't think, we don't question. It's like, if he's not feeling good, I take care of him. If I'm not feeling good, he takes care of me. You know what I mean? I come home from a hard day at work. There are things that happen that I don't even ask for. Same thing. This when he comes home from work, there were things that happen that he doesn't have to ask for. It's things that get done that he doesn't have to ask for. It's done. You know what I mean? I mean, we know each other. There are things that we both appreciate in life that we don't have to ask each other. We know just to do them because we're such soulmates that we don't have to have an expectation about it. It's just done. And again, it's about positivity, and it's also about communication, because there's nothing I can't tell my partner. Nothing. I could tell him anything. Anything. I'm not saying he'll be happy about it all. Like, I can go in there and tell him I lost $2,000 at the casino tonight. And I'm not saying he'll be jumping for joy, but he'll be like, really? Okay. You might need to think about maybe holding off for a little bit, but he can come in and tell me, I just spent this on new shoes, a hat, and all of a sudden I'm gonna be like, really? Well, I can't say nothing. I just lost 2,000 at the casino, but okay. I mean, we can tell each other anything. There's really nothing we can't tell each other. Yeah, I know you've seen me do it. So, but I had a good year last year. I had a really good year last year. This year ain't starting off bad, so I think I'm gonna stop for a bit, or just go to Vegas and do that kind of stuff. Because this year I've been twice already this year, and didn't enjoy it. So I think I might take a break and just go to Vegas or do something like that. But anyway, try a new hobby this year. But anyway, so again, we love things together. We love to travel. We do a lot of travel. So we love a lot of, we have a very good, but I'm not saying, look, I don't want to just use my relationship, but I mean, because your likes, you got to think about what your likes are. And and again, these are non-sexual bonding things. Are you a good communicator? Can you tell your partner anything? You can't have any shame or guilt. And that's hard for a lot of people. There is no shame in my game, and I have no guilt. I will tell you anything. I will tell my partner anything, and reverse, and reverse, and to have that open relationship, you have to be that way, because what I tell people, no matter what I say, it happened in the past, and it's what made me who I am today. And that's kind of what energetics teaches, is that no matter what you've done in the past, it's made you the strong person you are today. And so stop knocking yourself over about it. Stop being angry about it. Stop being negative. Stop it. Stop punishing yourself. This is why you get sick. This is why you have diseases. This is why you have things, because you're being negative about something you shouldn't be negative about. You survived it. You should be proud of that and move forward. That's what energetics is about. Taking all the crap you have been through and making it a strength of why you should survive and enjoy your life today in the present moment. And once you learn to do that, everything else just comes naturally. And that's what I'm trying to help my students and my followers to obtain. I'm trying to help you get to that point in your life where you're happy in your being, where you're just happy being who you are in this moment, and you're not letting no one, no group, no person, no family member take you down, that you just have a plan to do better for yourself or for you and your partner or you and your family. And that's what energetics is about, is becoming that person and shining and scraping all the fear away, scraping all the pain away, and realizing how strong you really are for surviving. You survived. So why are you fearing? Why are you guilting? Why are you letting others control you? Stop. You always have a choice. Make the right choice. And sometimes that choice might be a little painful. When I go through my life and I looked at all the jobs I've left or lost for whatever reason, like I was with a couple home health companies that shut down when the government changed stuff, all they did was make me stronger and added to my box of experience, and added and created who I am today. And I tell that to people, and people will throw stuff at you. Oh, you're old, you're overweight, you're this, you're that. I said, but I'm happy. Can you say that? I'm happy. I could die right this second. God could shoot down. I could have the massive MI, whatever. I'm going to die happy because I found love. And I don't mean love for my partner. I found love for myself. I love me. I love the person who I am because I've learned to love people, no matter where they come from or who they are. I learned the meaning and true meaning of what love is. I have found someone, a partner, to share that love with who also loves unconditionally as I do. And I don't give a shit what anybody, and I'm going to use the word, I don't give a shit what anybody fucking says about me, because that's their business, not mine. What they say about me is none of my business. I don't care because I'm happy. And I'm not going to let anybody take that away from me. Because I love myself enough that if I had to, I would live in a box under a bridge with my husband, if that's what it meant, and I'd still be happy because I have found love for me. I have learned to love myself. And I will never lose that because I've learned to love others. And I don't hold grudges. I don't hate. I don't do all those negative things that people have tried to teach me to do over time. One of my babysitters when I grown up was very racist, came from a racist family. And I mean, I was taught hate. I just didn't buy into it. And I think it's because I had two babysitters. One was racist and one was the opposite. So I went with the opposite, the one who taught me love. I still love the racist woman because she was created. She just didn't know how to get out of it, who raised me. But the other lady who raised me was not racist and she was loving. So I learned to understand people and understand why they are the way they are. That's why I don't hate people. I understand who they are. I understand where they come from, why they think the way they do, and I don't hold nothing against them. They are who they are. And so I learned to love people. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what nationality you are. I don't care if you're a refugee, an immigrant. I don't care if you're my next door neighbor. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to hate you for it. It's none of my business why you do what you do. That's your business. That's your business. And might it affect me? Absolutely. But having no fear, I always have a plan. And that's what I tell people. As long as you have a plan, you're all right. I have to look out for me and mine, and that's what I do. So I tell people the same thing. Always have a plan. Don't have a fear, have a plan. Your plan might not be something that's comfortable, but you may have to have a plan. If things go bad in your family, you may have to leave your family. If you have an abusive family, you might not be able to stay there with them. You may have to have a plan to get out. And if you don't get out, then that's your fault. You can't blame your family that they're abusive. You decided to stay in that abusive relationship. If you're with a bad relationship and you don't leave, that's your fault for not leaving. Well, you say, well, I can't afford to leave. Yes, you can. You can go live under a bridge in a box if you had to. If it meant stop being beat every night or maybe getting a gun put to your head, absolutely. Do what you got to do. And it might be uncomfortable for a month or two, or go live in a shelter for a month or two, but it will get better over time. Do what you have to do to break the chain of negativity around you. Do what you have to do to break the chain of negativity that is around you. Always have a plan. I'll give you an example. This is something that happened just recently. Everybody freaked out who had Capital One because they held everybody's paychecks. Okay? Recently. This is like last week. Okay? Nobody got paid from who had banks with Capital One. I didn't worry. Why? Because I had a plan. I have money in more than one bank. Right? Because I anticipate the problems. I have a plan. That was just a small example. Have a plan. Always have a plan. Because you don't know what's going to happen. I don't believe everything I hear. I don't, I have my own gut feelings about things. I may not always be right. I may not always be wrong. I don't know. But I always tell people, have a plan. Do not fear. Have a plan. Because in life, this is your journey. This isn't your partner's journey. This isn't your brothers or your sisters or your parents or your relatives' journey. This is your journey in this life. So you need to achieve the things you want to achieve before you go to your grave and then go to the other side. If you don't achieve those things, you have no one to blame but yourself. You can't say, well, somebody, didn't do this for me, or somebody didn't help me, or I was abused. If you were an adult and you were abused and you didn't get out of the situation, that's your fault. It's your fault. Can't help but tell you it's your fault. You have to take some ownership in it. Because you could have reported it. You could have ran away from it. You might have been poor for a while. You might have had to go start all over again. I can't tell you how many times I started over. When I met Denise, and those of you who know Denise, I was literally living damn near in the streets. I was taking flour and water, mixing it, and using ketchup packets to get a meal. That's where I was. She rescued me, and that's why I owed my life to Denise. But when I first met, I'd known her for a while, but Denise actually let me come live with her. That's a true story. I went through a really rough period. This was right post my mom's passing. Went through a whole reconstruction of my life when that happened, and really hit a low. And then I rebuilt. I mean, those things happen. That's part of life. Those things happen. It's made me who I am today. I have put myself through school. I have put myself, Everything I've done on my own practically. Just about everything. Paid for my own college, paid it all off, bought my own houses, no help with down payments, nothing like that from the house. Done it all myself. You know, so as I tell people, you can do things. You just have to put your mind to it. And I mean, there were times that I was working, you know, um, 2 or 3 jobs. Like to this day, I work a lot of jobs. That you do what you have to do, and this is your life. But now, I'm happier than I've ever been, and I'm good. That's what I tell people. So to help you get there, to help you get there, this is part of energetics. It's creating positivity in your life, starting. And again, we can't keep constant positivity in our lives because we have negative people around us, and that's okay. But you learn to keep them on that side of the fence. And when they get too negative, you walk away from them, and you don't have to put them out of your life completely, but you walk away when it gets negative. And if they ever ask you, say, look, I can hang out, I can be around as long as you stay positive, but when it gets negative, I need to go. And eventually they know when you come around, they need to respect you and or stop the negativity. And if they don't, then you're just going to stop hanging around them. And it may get a little lonely. That's okay. you know, that is okay. It may get a little lonely, but people need to start respecting your space. And even if your partner, you might have to correct your partner. If your partner gets too negative, you need to walk away from them, go in the other room, do whatever. And they say, well, I just think it got very negative around me, and I'm trying to be more positive. I want to talk about what we can do, not what we can't do. I want to talk about what we need to achieve, not what we can't achieve. I want to talk about the good things that we've done in our lives. I don't want to hear about all the bad things we've done. I want this to be a positive conversation. I'm trying to rid myself of negativity, and watch how much you shine. I'm telling you, people will see that shine. You will start attracting more positive people around you. You will find your tribe. Your tribe will show up. Now, there is a second part, and that's about creating positive energy. And that's what energetics part 2 is about. Can't tell you about that now because I have to wait till I teach that. And then I can tell you about it. But you have to learn how to create, like once you start dealing with that. I love you too, my cuz. You're wonderful, baby. Love you, miss. Love you, my love. So anyway, you know, once you learn about fears, blocks, and learn about how you build your character, then you have to learn how to create the positive energy and to keep it up. The number one thing I will tell you is I do recommend y'all start learning trance, and those of you especially want to get into your psychic arts, you want to learn a lot about trance and getting into the trance states. I know you hear me say this a lot. I'm going to keep drilling that into your heads. And the best trance teacher around these days, I believe, is Scott Milligan. I will say that again, again, and again. He is the best. Um, he will work you like there's no tomorrow. He has taken me to levels that only one other gentleman has gotten me to, and he unfortunately has passed. So Scott has been the only other um, instructor that I've sat with who's actually gotten me down deep enough to get to those levels where I can actually push out one of my spirit people can actually get pushed out where everybody can see that person. And so it is about, once you get into those lower, deeper levels of consciousness, the things you can do as a human, as a person, is remarkable. So I do tell you all, and again, if you can't take a course for whatever reason with Scott or whatever, I would recommend at least get on YouTube and just listen to some binary beats or something to bring you down to, or watch some videos that help you get down into those trance states. Work with that. It will definitely increase your senses. It will definitely increase your mentality. It will definitely help you with your thought processes and help you get in touch with your senses. So I definitely 100% recommend that to everyone. So definitely look into trance. Again, Touching Eternity is now, we're starting to get more and more people sign up for the June event, which is June 4th to June 8th in Orlando at the Lake Buena Vista Holiday Inn. That's going to be, you can go to my website, sid-passion.com, if you want to come attend. I would highly recommend it. It's going to be a wonderful event. Scott Milligan, Milligan, he is a physical medium and he is a trance medium, and he is one of the best. He is one of the, he is, as far as I've seen, he is the best physical medium I've ever seen. And he is a phenomenal trance medium, and he will be teaching at will be teaching in at Touching Eternity. Him and Dominic Bogue will be there teaching mediumship. I'll be teaching there as well, and we will also have Josephine McKenzie doing psychic art, and we have Mary Di Giovanni. She'll be there teaching healing, and I'm doing some meditations with you guys. So that's going to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful event, June 4th to June 8th in Orlando. You can go to my website and check it out. And you're going to be seeing a lot more promotions, because we're going to start doing some more filming on, I think it's Wednesday or Thursday. Tomorrow or Thursday, we're going to be doing some more filmings. So you're going to be seeing some stuff on We Don't Die with Sandra's going to be doing some filming with us. And so highly recommend following it. You will definitely learn a lot. If you can get out to Orlando, come join us. It's going to be a phenomenal conference, and it's real reasonable. The rooms are cheap. They are like, I think with the resort fee, the rooms are $79. The resort fee is $15, and that gets you like bus rides to all the parks, and then to a shopping area, plus it's your towel service, plus it's free parking, because they do charge for parking, but if you're at the conference, it's free parking. So that saves you all kind of money. So it runs like $103 with tax and title and everything a night for a room. And they're giving you those for the conference plus days before, or a couple days before and a couple days after, in case you want to stick around and use the parks as well. If you go to my website, you can follow that. You can find out more information about them there, Elizabeth. So Dominic Bogue, his story is phenomenal. He has a book out as well. If you want to follow Dominic as well, Dominic Bogue. There's my story is actually not written by me. Actually, one of the people that I read, I didn't know was an author, and she wrote a book about me. And then we did a book together about our experiences, and Scott's mentioned in that book, because it was different seances that we had experienced, and it's called Seance Experiments. It's a book that I co-authored with her, and it's just a journey that we went on together, in search of helping her heal her grief of losing her daughter. And we had gone to a bunch of different types of seances, and it's a book on the journey, and it's also out as well. So, but you can see that on my website as well too. So again, lots of stuff out there, folks. But again, energetics is something, like I said, I keep talking about it, but it's a really remarkable class. I think everybody who is in any type of metaphysical work should take it, because it really helps you break your blocks, your fears. It helps you get in touch with your senses, which is how we connect in this work, in that field. But also, if you just come into the conference because you want to experience, because there is at the conference, you're also going to experience live seance, and you're going to experience Dominic. So you can see a demonstration with Dominic. You'll see a demonstration with me, and you'll get to see. During Dominic's demonstration, Josephine will usually do psychic art and draw the character of the loved one that he's bringing through, or something, or an object related to the reading, while he's demonstrating. So what Joel asked, what happened to the guy who, are you talking about Michael Shane? So he was supposed to come to New Orleans in October, and he wanted to go to my store, but I sold the store in August, so I had to cancel with him. He's still around. So you can look him up. Michael Shane is his name. Um, he was supposed to come to New Orleans in, like I said, October, but I had sold the store at the end of August, and so I told him, like, he could talk to the new owner, and he could probably still come, but he decided not to come since I sold the store, so he didn't come down. But I've been working a whole lot, so at the hospital, so I'm only doing readings, and I'm traveling doing aura photography. I'm actually doing a fair in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the weekend of February 22nd. I'll be at Cindy's Spirit Fair, and I'm doing aura photography there. And I'm signing up for some fairs in Florida in March. And the beginning of April, I'm doing a fair in West Palm Beach and in Sarasota. And so I'll be in Florida for a couple of weekends doing some aura photography as well. And so I've been doing those on the weekends and seeing clients. That's in going to be in Denver in the beginning of May, first week of May. We're going to Denver to do Nacho Dead People at 2 Mexican restaurants in Denver. We're going to probably do another in May, do another Nacho Dead People here as well. So we have all kinds of fun events coming in. Trenny and I are going to probably put something together here soon too. So folks, it has been a little more than it's been almost an hour and 15. So I don't want to stay on too late. So I'm going to probably cut out of here in a moment. But I've been enjoy talking to you guys. Please be safe in the snow. I will be on tomorrow night with Alicia for 8 o'clock if she cannot get to my house, which I'm thinking I don't know if she will or not. It's supposed to warm up a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to kill all the snow on the road. If she can't get to me, I will bring her in via Magni will be here. I can bring her in on the camera, so you get to see us both. So I will do that. I will try to bring her in. I should be able to, so she can join us, and we can do our everyday Wednesday podcast at 8 p.m. with you guys. I will be very careful. I'm not leaving the house, Joel. I'm being extremely careful. Magni's going to Norway at the end of the week. We're doing some movement of we have an account in northern Norway, and we're going to move it to southeastern Norway, because at the end of this year we're going to decide whether we're going to move or not to Norway. We may move, and I'll be flying back and forth from Norway to here. But anyway, so life's exciting. Life's an adventure. So the energetic classes, if you're going to Touch in Eternity, you're going to get it. You're going to get it at Touch in Eternity in June. It's going to be June 4th to June 8th in Orlando. And then I'm going to do it again I will teach it 1 and 2 together, because you took the first part last year at Touch in Eternity. I will teach part 2 this year at Touch in Eternity, June 4th to June 8th. And then sometime, probably the end of September, beginning October, I will do it again. I got to see how hurricane season plays out. And it's going to be a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday class at my home. And I will advertise it again. And it'll be at my home, and it will be limited seating because of it being in my home. But I'm going to teach it at my home. Unless I move before then, if I sell my house before then I'll have to find another location for it. I'll probably do it at Mystic Resource Center if I sell my home before then. So that just depends on what happens. It's up in the air. So again, thank you everybody. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys